All right. Gotta put that on live. What the heck? Okay. Confirm. Let's see. Alrighty, so we're gonna share this. This will probably be the most calmest I will be compared to last night. Compared to yesterday. This will probably be the calmest I have been this about this entire process. What an interesting 24 hours it has been in the city here of Bronzeville and BISD. All that good stuff. Very interesting. As we all saw and heard, last night was a hot mess, to say the least. I don't regret getting pissed off because I had every right to be pissed off. And I'm telling you all right now, I am working. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. I am going to find the renderings and the schematics and everything that was the BISD pack that was supposed to happen that they clearly still say is not true. So we are working on that. I don't know if I'm going to have to like scour the internet for it, but I'm going to find it. And when I do, if you've heard me rant before, this is going to be even worse because I cannot stand the fact that one, you still want us to blame Dr. Rendon and Mr. Flinchball for the what's the right word to say? For the BS you said yesterday. It still pisses me off that a board member called the community indirectly idiots because they brought this up again. Mary Garza, if you didn't want to do it, you should have just been like, okay, I'm not going to do it. But because the board asked you, you had to do it. So today's board meeting was supposed to be one hearing of the new vendors, of the attorneys and all that. And so they were meeting about that, and then they were going to talk about the stipend. Now, right away, one thing that I don't know if the superintendent felt that it needed to be done right away because that's the only thing people were wanting. As soon as they did the motion to approve, second mass, whatever, all that stuff, as soon as they did that, they flipped the script on us in the sense of after they did that, roll call, all that good stuff, they decided to hear public comment about the stipend and to discuss the stipend and vote for it. Now, today I was actually scared. I was actually very scared to see what was going to happen. I personally did not believe that this board was going to pass the stipend because I honestly really thought that Jesus was still on his little pity party, his little tantrum throwing, and that he was going to have the stipend fail, or say that he would not support it somehow for it to fail. Well, first thing, thank God Adina Alegria did not speak because she don't need to be speaking at board meetings. I'm sorry. You don't need to be speaking at board meetings, ma'am. You are not an educator. So no. The only reason you're in the position you're in is because of your daddy. But anyway, so thank God she didn't speak. It was another one. Then AOBE spoke, and then I believe, and Beth spoke. And out of everybody that spoke in public comment, the people that surprised me the most was Best. And this is why. All of them that spoke that were from Best we're against the bond. We're against the stipend. I don't know why I'm saying bond because I'm still pissed off about it. But the people from Best spoke out against it, against teachers getting a stipend. And I was like, when I'm hearing this, I'm like, what? You're a teachers union. Not everybody makes money like Daniela Lopez Valdez and the superintendent. Like, no one makes money like them. And I understood one point where they did say, if it came between losing my job, like, because the thing was job security. Because we all know that this district is notorious. They're going to close schools. We don't know if it's going to be this year or what. And they had a point where they did state, yes, like, if I had to choose between a stipend and making sure I was going to have a job after this year, I would choose my job. And I understand that. I completely understand that, especially at those campuses that are rumored to close. But those stipends, whether it's $500, we don't know how big of a difference that money can make. $750 is $750. That could easily be used towards groceries, towards Christmas presents, towards Christmas dinner, anything. So I understood where Best was coming from, but at the same time, I said, this isn't right. And then I think the last people were to speak was a lady from TVEA. And as much as I dislike the organization, I feel for her because at one point I was in that position. Well, then after that, they start talking about how much and the scheduling and all this of when to send it out. And then it was 32 minutes into the meeting because I looked at the time and I sent it to someone. 32 minutes into the meeting, the golden girl, Miss Grantland, decides to voice her opinion on all this and everything, how she usually speaks. But then Grantland says, no, what we should do is a tier system. Tier 1 would be all teachers, all certified personnel, whatever it's called, but all teachers would get the 750. Tier 2 would be the regular staff and everything, 750. But TIA designated teachers would not get a stipend, and the substitutes would get the scraps of whatever after everybody else got paid. And as soon as that was said, Minerva Pena, I'm confusing their last names because I'm half asleep right now. I took a nap earlier. But yeah, anyway. So then after Grantland decides to speak, Minerva Pena calls her out on what she said. And no, Miss Grantland, she did not put words in your mouth. You clearly stated teachers would be tier 1, would get the 750. Other personnel like the front office staff, all that would get the 750. Substitutes would get the scraps, and TIA teachers would not be getting anything. So no, it was not words being put into your mouth. And if we have to, at a future date, if I have to clip it for you and send it to you, that part, okay, I'll do it. I'll figure it out, but I'll do it. And when I heard that they were going back and forth, I'm like, wow, not even 30 minutes. The first pleito happened. I was like, órale, se va a poner bueno. Va a haber guerra. I was like, dang it. And I didn't have my popcorn with me because I was at dinner and I was watching it on my phone. So they started arguing, and Minerva brought up a point. Everybody should be treated equal. From the substitutes, from the personnel, the staff, certified teachers, all that stuff. They should all be treated equal. And the next thing that happened, if it's cold tomorrow, or if I post that I am in so much pain from my arthritis because of the weather, blame this part. This is the only time My personal health issues, I'll blame on the board meeting. Everybody agreed with Minerva. Carlos always agrees with Minerva. But everybody else, the the three amigas agreed with her. Frank Ortiz agreed with her. Carlos obviously agreed with her. But the fact that the three amigas and Frank agreed with what Minerva said, that is probably the second time I have seen that happen in a board meeting. When Minerva's on the board. I have not seen it since and all that good stuff. So I'm like, what the actual heck? So let's see. A ver. Here. Bam. Okay. So like I posted, Denise agreed with Minerva and is against Grantland's tier system. That was big. Then Jessica finally did something good for once. Ow. And agreed with Minerva. Nepo Baby agreed with Minerva. And then Frank agreed with her. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So right then and there, they all, I don't like to say gang up on. Well, no, they did, because she needed it to happen. Now, I'm taking this from Miss Crandall. Miss Crandall, don't, I give you credit. And she was watching. Dear Miss Grantland, you just now asked me, Nedma Peña, not to put words in your mouth. However, you just stated that you are sure TIA teachers who receive $7,000 extra would be willing to give up their $750 retention stipend so that others could get a stipend. Isn't this putting words into the mouths of TIA teachers who had received money? I mean, 750 is nothing to sneeze at. You do not know the situation of BISD employees. I really don't think you should state what you think BISD employees are willing to give up. ¡Órale! Sweet tea. Love it. That's exactly what happened. I'm going to be honest. If I was still teaching and I was a TIA teacher, I'd tell them, hell no. Because that money is mine. I worked hard for that TIA money, yes. But I also bust my ass working for that $750 retention stipend. So no. I don't know where Grantland got the idea that TIA teachers were going to want to give up their money. Like, ma'am, really? We get it. You have some munties. You have some coins. But not everybody has the luxury of saying, oh, it's okay. It's $750. It's trash. It's pocket change. The only person that could say that is Nepo Baby and the superintendent. But you don't know what teachers go through. Yes, teachers get paid well. Although I will always say BISD is the lowest paying district in the valley. Whether it's your first year or your 80th year, whatever you want to call it, BISD will always be the lowest paid. But teachers still make some good money. And although, yes, that's true, she doesn't know what I went through my 2 years that I was here in BISD. She doesn't know what the reading teacher at Canales is going through at home. She doesn't know what the history teacher at Lopez is going through. She doesn't know what any of the teachers are going through. Because if you think about it, do you really think she would have gotten to know her teachers that she serves? She wouldn't have said that. So, like Miss Crandall says, we all don't know what teachers are going through. Do I know that teachers have taken out second jobs just to make ends meet for their family because they're the sole provider? Yes, I do know for sure that they have. Because 1 month, and yes, budgeting happens. But if you have a house of like 3 or 4 people and you're the sole breadwinner, no. So I'm glad that Miss Crandall said this. Then they started talking to okay. And what scared me uh what's I'll get to the UIL stuff right now. What scared me was that when the superintendent started speaking. There's one more thing I need to do. What scared me was when the superintendent was starting to speak. I truly thought that the superintendent was going to say don't vote for this. I really thought the superintendent was going to say no, we can't give you all a stipend because we need money for the repairs and all that bullshit. And and he's talking, I'm thinking, "Oh my god, this is not going to end out good." And then he says, "Let's give our teachers stipends." I thought it was about to start blizzarding outside when he said that because knowing how pissed off he is about about how everything has happened, I thought he was going to be like, "Okay, there's not going to be any stipend, there's not going to be nothing because we need to fix the rat infested schools and stuff." But no. He said, "Let's give the teachers stipends." And then they started raising the amount. I'm like, I'm hearing it was gonna go to like another 900. Then it went to 1,000. Then whoever suggested 1,250 when they said that, I'm just like, yeah, this isn't not gonna happen because yes, BISD is in a deficit, but BISD will always be in a deficit. And BISD would have always been in a deficit. Will always be because of past decisions. So, after a while, after like they start going back, once they hit that number 1,250, they all agreed on it. I'm like, what the heck is happening here? No que no teníamos dinero. Turns out they overcharged us on taxes last year, so that's how they got the money. But anyway, after that, they started talking about, oh, like we're only going to give it to some people and this and that, like they usually do. And Minerva fought for subs. I'm surprised. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. I thought Minerva was going to raise it more. She didn't. The only thing that she did say, aside from calling out Grantland, was the fact that she wanted everyone to get the stipend. Not just teachers, not just the personnel in the glass palace of front office, the people at the schools. No. Everyone, including subs. Everybody agreed with that. I'm like, what in the, excuse my language, what in the hell am I watching here? They're not fighting about this. What's going on? Then then what they did is they changed the date from August something to September 30th. Why? So they can include everybody that was possibly hired in September that didn't get board approved till then and reported to their campuses. When that happened, I was like, whoa, this is the first I've ever heard them do this. And they all agreed on they all agreed on it and it passed. So I congratulate every single employee with BISD that's going to get this stipend. I have never seen it that high. Hell, the 2 years that I was in Donna, the most we ever got was $750 as a stipend. And it wasn't even a retention stipend, it was an attendance stipend. Obviously, I didn't get it my second year the Christmas stipend because I was back and forth from DHR to work. But they're getting the stipend. I didn't think it was going to happen. I truly did not think that this stipend was going to happen because I thought Jesus was going to pull a petty move. But even though I do not like near more than half the board, thank you for actually doing this. Because again, none of you on that board know what teachers go through behind closed doors. Do they have to do Uber? Do they have to sell platos? Do they have to? You don't know what teachers are going through. That money can be used for Christmas, can be used for their next bills. Like, so I'm glad that the teachers got the stipends. And to be honest, do you really think they were going to fail, like, to not pass the stipend? Can you imagine if they wouldn't have passed the stipend? Oh, hell would have broken loose in that boardroom. And to be honest, I probably would have submitted my resignation to be effective the last day of school for Christmas. Because what the heck? Now I'm just like, I'm seeing this and like, man, I should have stayed, but it's okay. I'm very happy for the teachers. They deserve it. They bust their ass every single day to deal with some of y'all's demons that go to school here. So they deserve that stipend. They do. I am so glad it happened. As much as I don't like the fact that they overtaxed us because they wanted to blame it on the county for appraisal and a second mass. I'm like, really? But they're going to do it. So the ones that have already been employed, they're going to get their stipend in December, like they're supposed to. It's the ones that were employed after, for sure, that I understood, they're going to get it after Christmas, which is fine. But they're going to get the stipend and they're going to get that full amount. So I'm so happy for the teachers and the employees of this district that they're going to get it. They're going to get their stipend because that was scary. So then after that, it was the attorneys doing their little presentations, and I hadn't really like paid attention to it or what because I just didn't. And before I move on to the attorneys part, let me pull up my notes. Okay, my my thoughts on the board on today's board meeting. I'm surprised that the three amigas and Frank Ortiz agreed with Minerva Peña tonight. Again, Miss Grantland, no one put words in your mouth. You directly stated what you said. Thank you to Miss Minerva Peña for calling her out for what she had suggested. We all saw that it was completely flawed the minute she spoke. I understand that TIA teachers got their money, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be excluded from a stipend. Like everyone said, all employees are important, which is true. The biggest thing, the fact that Travis agreed that the stipend passed and that even suggested in raising it. I can't really like, oh my god, this is like, no. My jaw was like to the floor. I was already crying all day because of Jenny Rivera. Today's her death anniversary, and I've been playing her music all day. And yes, I am a super fan. Do not judge me. So I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. And then when they voted unanimously yes, I was like, everybody's getting the 1,250 stipend. And it's true. This is probably the highest I've seen the stipend go. At least here. I don't know if it's happened in the past or what, but this is the highest I've seen it go. By the way, yes, I do mean it. Shame on Best for being against it. I understand your viewpoint, but that stipend could be a difference maker in your members' home. Remember, not all of us are privileged like our favorite Nepo baby. Because she's got money. She got coin. Now, getting to the attorney. I had it on mute because I was already home at this point, where they started talking about the different attorneys. The one that they have now, and then some other ones, and then Baltasar Salazar comes out. And the reason why I say it like that is this. I have always known Baltasar Salazar to be crooked. From rumors. I know they're rumors, but I have always heard of him being chueco. is like I've just heard rumors about it. And I'm listening to while he's talking about his experience. That's the man. Um, well, I did not know. I don't know if this is breaking news, but I guess because I wasn't that much like paying attention to it, I seriously did not know that Baltasar Salazar was one of the ones that went to the FBI and spoke out against Sylvia Atkinson and testified against her. I didn't know that. So the minute he said that, I'm like, like what? Like what? What? Like he testified against her because he even said there was rumors about him being best friends, comadre, compadre. You know how it goes. But I was so surprised that he said that because I wasn't aware. And if I do really commend you, sir, for doing that because if you didn't, she could have cost you your job, your license, and everything. So then he says that, and I stopped watching from there because I had stuff to do. Well, then come to find out, Baltasar Salazar is a new district BISD attorney. And I can't say, oh, like, no, whatever. No, because I only focus, like I said, on the bond stuff, on fine art stuff, on teacher stuff, like stuff like that. But the law stuff, I mean, I'm not a law person, but the fact that he got hired again as the attorney, and from what they're saying, Grantland was the one that had the deciding vote. And I guess it was, if I'm reading like this, I'm reading a Facebook post about it. I guess some people did not want Baltasar Salazar back, but they wanted someone else. And I'm just like, what the heck? What the heck is going on here and all this? But I guess if I'm reading this correctly, they went with the previous one before this one. And Baltasar is still Baltasar is the attorney now. And I mean, it is what it is with that. I am not into the legalities of stuff with that, but overall, I am happy with the first half of this. Again, and aside from the Baltasar thing, because I don't know. And then, like I said, couldn't we have this nice of a meeting yesterday where I'm not popping a blood vessel here or anything? Like, couldn't we have this nice meeting like we did today yesterday? It could have happened. But no. And then the best part about tonight, and I really mean it, Adina did not speak because it would have just been as bad as yesterday. It would have. So, congratulations to the teachers for getting your stipends. I don't know when they're going to go out. I'm assuming I had read somewhere about the 19th. Not too sure. But I am happy for all teachers all the teachers, everybody getting that stipend. I'm very happy because that probably just saved somebody's Christmas or what have you. Now, that's pretty much it as far as the board meeting because it wasn't as intense as yesterday, for me at least. Because I would have been crashing out already. But yes, I promise I am trying with my sources. Ay, me siento bien important. Um, I am trying to see if I can get the renderings of what the BISD pack was supposed to be. I can't find them on the website because they erased everything. But again, for the CFO to say, oh, we didn't know what BISD wanted as a pack. I'm pretty sure you didn't know who they were, but you just said F you to like I said yesterday, two of the best admins that Fine Arts has ever had in this city. You just said F you. And you said F you to every single past and present Fine Arts educator here in BISD. So, yes, there's that with the board. Now, I today was a little not interesting, like, oh my God, like, I was overwhelmed. No. But I officially announced yesterday that, and it's, I guess, and I'm being serious. It's a little weird for me to say it still because you wouldn't have expected this from me. I've never been one to be into politics. I've never been one. Never, 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 never. But I felt that it was I felt, I truly, truly feel I may not be the best candidate out there. I may not be someone with the big following like Minerva, Carlos, the gold. I don't know about the Golden Girl, but the three amigas. Like, I might not have their following, but I honestly feel I can make a difference, even if I get one vote. If one person believes in what I'm saying, I mean, that's all I care about. I'm here for everybody. I'm not just here for Fine Arts. So yesterday, when I made my announcement, I'm gonna read it to you. I just gotta stop screen. Okay, here. Here you go. What this? Good Lord, hold on. I gotta close this and then. Good Lord Almighty. There. Why is this open? I don't have my glasses. The production is horrendous right now. ¿Dónde abre? Ahí está. Okay, so this is my official announcement. I'm gonna. Oh, santo Dios. Let me see. Can I? There you go. So I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. So I did this around 2 something in the morning or whatever because I was doing other things. I couldn't sleep, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this. So, major announcement. Now, what I am about to let you all know is something that you would have never seen coming until recently. Seeing what has been happening with BISD has really sparked a voice in me that I thought I would never have that I thought would have never come out. Cute somebody reading this laughing. And I know I'm saying stuttering and all that stuff. I don't care. But cues you laughing because if you all know how I am, exactly. I understand the laughing. I have said that I will always be the voice and advocate for BISD Fine Arts, and I will continue to do that until my last breath. But there is something else that I am going to add to that. After getting advice from not only some of the most amazing friends and most important family members, because my family's been the one that's actually been telling me, I have officially decided to run for BIC school board in the 2028 election. This is a very big step for me, except for my Uncle Tony, who ran for commissioner, I believe, a long time ago in the 90s. He didn't win, but he ran. No one else in my family has ever run for a political office. Now, I know that I'm not a big politico, politica, however you want to say it, but I truly feel that I can help make a difference with BISD and be the voice on the board that has been sorely needed since the late, great Erasmo Castro was on the board. And in parentheses, no one can replace him. No one. Not only will I continue to be the voice for all of fine arts, but I will also be the voice for every single educator, staff member, and the most important asset to any district, our students. And like I said yesterday, if anyone in fine arts, I don't care if it's a choir, I don't care if it's an elementary choir, if it's a dance team, if it's a middle school band, high school band, orchestra, mariachi, whatever. If I were to get a call or a message from from one of them, hey, can you come listen to my group? Hey, can you come give my kid a lesson on band stuff because I'm a band person? Or hey, we want you to observe our class like in dance or in choir or whatever. Like if I get that phone call, I'm gonna say two things. What date and what time? I'll do it. I have nothing else to do. I'll do it. I already do it with a couple of people with fine hearts, so I'll do it. To anybody in the core and test to if anyone in the core testing subject need my help. Again, hey, I want you to come observe me. I want you to present to my class or just be like a guest or whatever. Again, time, place, school, day. And this part, I know some of you are probably thinking, what the hell did you say that? This part, next part. Because I have spoken out against the athletic department. I have. I still agree. I still believe that $95,000 could have gone to repairs instead of a damn website. But anyway, if anybody at athletics were to call me like, hey, it would boost the morale of the kids if a board member came to a game or something. If I am able to, I'll go to a game. But I will, and if anyone in CTE needs my help, or like, hey, my kids need someone to practice on the cosmetology or the medical or something, they want to show off to the board, like, oh, we're doing this in class, whatever the specialty is. Day, time, place. That's all I need. Text, call, pigeon mail, whatever you got to do. I'll do it. Basically, if anybody employed with BISD needs my help, I will do my damn best to help you all out. But I will also hold everybody accountable, and that includes fine arts. From top to bottom. Anybody in fine arts, any educator in a testing subject, core subject, CTE, anything, athletics, administration, everything. From top to bottom, I will hold them accountable. Now, might that get me some, like the children said, hate? Maybe. But like I've told my previous students, I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to teach. I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to be a board member that is to advocate for you. But I'm not just going to, oh, do this and this. We need to pass this. We need to pass this. But you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So I will help you all. I also need to hold you all accountable for everything that you do. Continuing. What BISD needs is a board member that is not only in tune with the district, but with the community. We need a board member that is willing to take the fight to those that are wanting to stay in the same rut we have been in for years, aka the three amigas and the superintendent. We need a board member that will call and fight for transparency. Again, without the community, without transparency, we are nothing. That means I have to get into what I say as pissing matches with everybody else, and then I'll have Pat saying F you to me, so be it. But we need transparency. And unfortunately, there's only 2 people on that board that actually give a damn. But they're outnumbered by the majority. But without, like I said, without the community support, without being transparent, we are nothing. That is why the Nepo baby and her friends think this is all manufactured distrust. Yeah, it is by you four. Not by me, not by Frankie, not by Susan, not by Miss Crandall, not by Catalina, not by anybody that reports on this. It's all caused by you all, not us. They just report what you all say. And Miss Crandall, I commend you for actually doing transcripts because that is already too much for me to handle. If you can't go to Miss Crandall's Facebook page, one meeting she transcribed the entire meeting. I don't know how the patients, ma'am, I bow down to you. I do. Now, no matter the outcome of that election, which is the 2020 election that I will be putting myself on the ballot for, I will always continue to be the voice for those that are afraid to speak and for the community. Because, again, we all know BISD is very notorious for retaliation. And aside from transparency, I call for an audit for every single department in the Glass Palace. Like Minerva said, when Rene was here, a lot of positions were added. Do we really need them? Do certain people need to be in positions at the Glass Palace? No. So I would actually call for that. And I'm being serious. I hope I can count on your support. If there's any questions you may have, feel free to message me on my public page. If you're friends with me on my personal page, message me there. And I said, like one of the greatest band directors of all time once said, the path to success is full of hard work and sacrifices, and the majority give up during the first initial steps. Those few who keep on can't ever be touched by the majority. From your favorite former band director, me. So yes, I am going to do it. I am starting to talk to people as far as like I've had friends mainly and family. Oh my God, you're actually going to do it? I said, yes. I said, do I know what I'm doing? No, but I mean, I want to continue to be the voice for the voiceless, the ones that are afraid to speak, because there's people that want to speak and they're afraid of losing their jobs. So there's that. Again, if you all have questions, message my public Facebook. It's me dressed up as a Christmas tree. But now let's get into the UIL numbers. They were released. And there was already some talks and some talks around the interwebs, the internet about it. My notes here. I actually printed it out. So, what I did, and I took the time while I was listening to the campaigning of the attorneys, I took the time to look at every Valley district that I could find. I took the time. And like my conducting days, I color coded everything. So, let me put this up. Oh yeah, as soon as I commented on with my public page, hey BISD, don't turn off the comments. They turn off the comments. I don't get why they want to turn off the comments. Let people speak. But anyway, so yeah, that's where this comes from. It's because I said, hey BISD, why don't turn off the comments, and then they turn them off. Okay, so today's UIL. Today they officially released the enrollment numbers, the snapshot numbers. Based off the cutoff numbers from the based off the cutoff numbers to the 2024-2025 school years, here are the classifications for all Valley bands. And yes, this is the band part of the stream. If you don't like it, then okay. So, 6A, we have Brownsville Veterans Memorial. 6A, just for reference, the cutoff numbers are between 2,275 and above. What did vets have? 2,297. They will stay at 6A. We have Edinburgh Economides, Edinburgh North High School. They are going 6A. They're the only 6As in that district. And Cotomides had 2,678. Edinburgh North had 2,477. So they're going to stay 6A. Harlingen High is staying 6A. And they are at 2,545 students as of the snapshot. Then Los Fresnos, and this is like a 30-page document almost. Los Fresnos, being the only high school in the school district, 3,272 students. They will stay 6A. Now, PSJA and PSJA High School, 2,278 students. They will stay at 6A. And Westlaco High School, they clocked in at 2,764 students. So for BISD, I can't really. It's gonna be hard for vets to make it as a 6A, not because they're not good. It's just they only take so many. They take 2. And when it comes to area, all of them, even the ones that don't make finals, they're all good. So, I mean, we'll see how vets turns out. I'm pretty sure they're going to do better next year and they're going to do amazing. So we'll see what'll happen. But it sucks. And I set this on my TikTok because I do not right now. I have them suspended because I'm punishing the children there because they don't know how to be patient. And I'm only one person. So I have suspended my live react videos until further notice. But I'm still posting banned TikToks. So it's like I told I was telling the children. And I really do appreciate that the space my TikTok has turned into that space where I could care less if they're arguing in the comments as long as it's respectful and a productive conversation. Go ahead and talk. The viral TikTok that I had go viral, and I didn't do like no funny dance, none of that stuff that these kids do. All I did was post popular, unpopular opinion. UIL needs to regulate how much these bands can spend on their shows. Because you're not going to tell me the powerhouse Dallas and Austin schools or the Valley schools here can compare with those schools money-wise. No. The only one I want to know how she did it is Dina Laurel at Roma, because that lady is just all hell Dina. So it just sucks that for veterans, they're an amazing program, but they're one of the smallest 6As here. And unfortunately, I mean, I think UIL judging has gone to trash, and they look at how big the band is and how much money they've spent. But veterans is a damn good program, so I'm rooting for them next year. Really am rooting. Now let's get to 5A. I don't know how this is going to sound, but Area G now, until it changes, 5A is going to be World War III to infinity now. Because now, every BISD school, except for vets, is now 5A. Hannah went back down to 5A after being 6A for several many years. They're now at 1,896. The cutoff numbers are 1,315 to 2,274. So Hannah is now a 5A. So it's Hannah, Lopez, Pace, Porter, Rivera. 5 out of the 6 high schools are 5A. That entire finals is probably going to be a bunch of BISD. Again, will we have board members at area finals next year? We'll see. Donna High and Donna North, they stayed 5A. Their numbers are, let's see. Donna High is 1,834 and Donna North is 1,006.5. I don't know how they're getting the 0.5 if they went half a day, whatever. But anyway, so those two schools are now. Edinburgh High is going to be a 5A with 2,154. Edinburgh Vela High School is now at 2,177. They're staying 5A. Harlingen South with the GOAT. He's going to be one of the featured greatest of all time band directors in Texas with the Ronnie Rios. Harlingen South is staying 5A with 2,085 students. Next one, La Jolla. All of them are staying 5A, and they range between 1,846 to 2,236. So all the La Jolla high schools are staying. McAllen. Let's see. Okay. Except I'm not gonna count the early college high school, but all the McAllen high schools are staying 5A. They range between 1,962 to 2,152. All three McAllen high schools with band programs are being 5A. The one that I am whoever that 1,315th kid that they counted presents. That one kid would have been the difference between Mercedes staying 5A or going down to 4A. They are literally right at the beginning of the cutoff for 5A. Now, when it comes to football, I'm not sure how that's going to work. They might go another division, but stay 5A. I don't know how it works with football. But Mercedes barely stayed 5A by one student. By one student. Now, Mission High School, all except for Mission Collegiate, all the Mission High Schools, including Mission Sharyland, they have them listed as that. They're all 5As. Mission High, Mission Vets, Sharyland, and Sharyland Pioneer. They're all 5As. We know that they have good programs. We do. So, a ver qué pasa con eso. Now, PSJA Memorial is also 5A, and they are PSJ Memorial, PSJ North, and PSJ Southwest have stayed 5A, ranging from 1,446 to 2,220 students. So those schools are staying 5A. Rio Grande City High School is staying 5A with 1,889 students. Roma is staying 5A with 1,789 students. Weslaco East is staying 5A with 2,088. Those are all the 5A schools, with the exception of one or two here. All of them made area. So I'm telling you, with the addition of Hannah, thank God, it's going to be World War III through infinity at area marching, both prelims and finals. So my little conspiracy theory is one of the Sharyland schools might not make it with Hannah being there. Will Roma make it? Will Rio Grande City make it? With the addition of Hannah. Because Hannah is just as good as any of them. We might see the end of Sharyland making it every single year, with excluding what happened this year. So that's just my conspiracy theory. There might be 2 BISD schools making it, possibly 3. We'll see what happens. We will. I cannot wait to see that. Now, going to 4A. Let's see. 4A. Ed Couch is going to be 4A with their numbers came out to 1,271. Now, the cutoff for 4A was between 545 and 1,314. So they are staying, they're going to be 4A. Hidalgo is going to be 4A with 905 students in that high school. So they will stay 4A. La Feria will stay 4A with La Feria. I just had it. Oh, 872 students. PSJ Valley View High will be 4A with 1,145 students. Port Isabel is going to be 4A, and La Grulla is going to be 4A. It's too much to go through now. Now, Monte Alto is going to stay 2A. No, Monte Alto is going to be 2A. Santa Maria is going to stay 2A. The 3As, Lyford, Progreso, Raymondville, Rio Hondo, Santa Rosa, they're all going to be 3As. They haven't changed. The only one that is in limbo right now is Valley View High School because they have 253.5. Technically, that can be considered. They are literally in limbo of either being a 2A or a 3A. Is UIL going to allow them to go to 3A? Or are they going to stay as a 2? Are they going to be a 2A? They're in limbo right now. And if these are based off of the cutoff numbers for 2024, 2025, and 2025, 2026. In February, I believe, UIL releases the cutoff numbers again. At least for the 5A and 6A, this is not projected to change. At least down here. But the only one is like, where are they going to put Valley View? Because that one kid that did not stay the whole day is what I'm assuming that 0.5 is. Where are they going to go? Valley View is up and coming too as a band. They're doing very, very well. But I mean, I'm excited, and I wish Brownsville Vets an amazing season next year. I can't wait to see what the show's about. Edinburgh Economides, Edinburgh North, Harlingen High, all the Valley schools for 6A, 5A, and 4A, and 3A, 2A. I wish them nothing but the best. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, but some of these Valley bands sound better than some of those big bands up there, in my opinion. I mean, you can call me biased and all that. Again, I don't know how this is going to affect football because it's really weird the way it's worded on this piece of paper. Like for football, like if it's Division 1, Division 2. But oh, wait a minute, I can tell you. Hold on. For Mercedes. Okay. Mercedes is going down to 5A Division 2. If they were Division 1, I don't know. But they are football wise, they're going to be the only ones. And I'm already excited. UIL season is coming up. I can't wait. Like once the schedule for UIL comes out, if I am able to, I will attend UIL because I'm always a big fan because what these kids can play in a UIL setting, a lot of people think that they can't. Because, and I know this is like where I rant about the district and stuff, but BISD band wise, the only thing I can say for dance is they're all amazing teachers. Same thing with choir and all the arts. But with band, BISD is at a disadvantage. Or the Valley in general, but I'm going to say BISD. Our band programs here are at a disadvantage to the big schools up north. I hate my arthritis because I start getting like chapped lips, and when I drink it, like it's all but anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna say BISD because that's what we're talking about right now. BISD bands are at a major disadvantage than your Vandergrifts of the state, your Marcuses, your LD Bells, your Woodlands, the Churchills of the times. Why? Because what it takes. 3 to 4 high school directors. Same thing with the middle schools. 3 to 4 middle school directors and high school directors at their respective campuses. What they are able to do, those schools up north have private lesson teachers for each instrument. BISD doesn't have that. Now, BISD is very fortunate enough to be able to partner with the university, with UTRGV to, if they want their kids to, if they want that professor to come listen to their kid, those professors are wanting to come and listen to the kids, to work with them, because it also serves as a recruiting tool. But those schools up north, I checked, and I don't have it here with me, but I remember used to, me and my friends, we would look up all these different, like LD Bell's band handbook. I looked up Avon's, who's they're like amazing. In their band fees, which range in the thousands, that is also to pay for the private lesson teachers. And they have their private lesson once a week. And it's not with the band director, no. These are people that are freelance musicians, or they teach at the university, or they're students at the university that are getting hired to teach private lessons. Every kid gets a private lesson. BISD doesn't do that. Why? Because at each high school they hire, and in each middle school they hire 3 to 4 extremely competent directors to teach their kids. They do. And I've seen it at the all-state level at TMEA, where, and I experienced this, I got asked, and the kid apologized because he was a freshman. And I didn't take an insult to it, but I got asked by this freshman. He was sitting next to me. I was the only girl in the section in the All-State Symphonic Band before 6A came out, and I was the only Latina in the section. He asked me, how is it that you made All-State if you don't have a private lesson teacher, you don't make your own reads, and you don't live near a major institution? And he was one of those kids that was very, very cocky. And I just said, what do you mean? Well, yeah, you shouldn't be here. All staters have private lesson teachers. All staters have this. We're in like the youth symphony orchestras. We're in this. And I asked him, what grade are you in? He said, I'm a freshman. I said, okay, it's your first year, son. I said, this is my second year. I'm not like the first year that was a 4-year all-stater. I said, but I'm going to tell you, because we have amazing double reed specialists that's all they teach. They don't teach band. They don't, no, that's all they teach. That's how I made it. I didn't need a private lesson teacher. I didn't need any of that. I had some help from the university, and that was also the recruiting tool for me. But I said, we didn't need that. And would it be nice for these kids to have that opportunity? Yes. But we also have to take into consideration, if bands here were to charge what those districts up north charge for band fees, that's way too much. It is. So even with that disadvantage, even with the funding disadvantage when it comes to state marching, because good God Almighty, some of these bands, Marcus, Hebron, LD Bell, Flowermong, all of them, when you see the top 10 marching bands in the state of Texas in 5A, 4A, 6A, all of them, with the exception of Raymondville, because shout out to Raymondville for getting second this year. But I'm going to speak for 5A and 6A. When you see the top 10 bands perform at state marching, you will realize quickly, with the exception of Roma, because she figured it out, which I don't know how, I want to pick her brain about that. But these schools up north have a bigger budget than what Valley bands do. What they spend on music up there. It's probably what BISD bands spend on their show altogether. Again, I'm not, I don't know specifically because I never was privy to that information, but I mean, you can tell. We don't, Marching Band doesn't get that much of a budget, but yet BISD bands make it happen and then some. Obviously, with the fundraising and with the boosters. Shout out to band boosters. You guys are the lifeline to the high school band programs. But one thing I would like to change, not only to help band, but to help dance, to help choir, to help estudiantina, to help mariachi, to help all these people. I'd like to change the rule about fundraising. And this is what I mean. I think you're only allowed 2 a year. I'm sorry, but if you want to fundraise for marching band, you need more than that. Because what the heck is a spring fundraiser going to pay for? Music and licensing? Because if they don't go the classical route, licensing fees with a lot of these composers. And then you have to get the rides and all this stuff. I mean, you pay your drill writer, you pay your music writer if it's not the same person. If you have a program coordinator, you pay them. Plus, you have to think of materials for props. If you all get I don't know what they call them now. They're the band uniforms, but they're like to the theme. That if we need equipment, all this stuff. High school bands here, especially BISD, they make it work. How? I don't know. I commend every single high school band director here in BISD for making it happen. And what's even funnier is I've heard comments where I was at state marching one year and I don't know who performed, and it was a BISD band, but I don't remember the kid who it was, what school they were from. I heard it and I was like, ha ha ha. I forgot what BISD school was performing. The level and quality of the band directors here in this city make a band as small as Lopez, as small as Pace, Rivera, Porter, Veterans, Hannah even. Hannah's not the same size that they used to be. They have those kids down here sounding like the size of a Marcus High School band, LD Bell, Hebron, Flower Mound. And they have less than half of the amount of kids. It's not to me, UIL should not judge based off of how much money you have, how big your band is. No. If your band is clean and your band sounds good, I'd put you over one of those powerhouse groups. But UIL is a whole different thing. So I'm excited for this new journey that I'm gonna start. I don't know. I mean, I just will speak my mind. Um, I am talking to family and friends. I'll get text messages like, "Yes, we knew it. We knew you were gonna do this. We knew it." And I said, "How did you know if I didn't even know I was gonna say that I'm gonna run, like, or want to run?" They're like, "No, we knew that you were gonna want to run. We knew you were gonna do it." So it's awesome to get those messages or like, "Hey, like, thank you so much for for advocating for us and all this." And I can't wait and I can't wait to see what happens. And again, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I mean, I'm not going to be pissy. I'm not going to be mad. I'm doing it to see if I can do it. And also, if I were to win, this is what I would do. I know they swear you in, and normally you would have your family up there with you. And that's going to happen. But what else am I going to do? And it might look like a mosh pit if this happens. But I'm going to do this. if I were to get elected and swear and I get sworn in, obviously my dad, con el favor de Dios, he's still here. My kid will be there. She will hold that Bible. And who's going to surround me? Every single person that works in fine arts. I don't care if it's an entire high school band staff, a high school choir staff, a high school dance staff, everybody in fine arts. I want fine arts represented at that and have them surrounded. Because it has been way too long that these amazing individuals don't get the representation on the board. Alrighty, so I am done. I will continue to post as much as I can on my public Facebook. It's the one with the Bitmoji as a Christmas tree because, yeah, it's Christmas. But I am so glad with the outcome of today. And the next thing to wait is that forensic audit, though. I am waiting to see Zendeja's name. Drew Brown. I'm so sorry, ma'am, about your husband, but I do see your name in there. Sylvia's name's gonna be in there. Who else? Rene's gonna be in there. The CFO that que se fue bien rápido. He's gonna be in there. Excuse me. And some of these board members that are on here right now, they're gonna be there. And that's why they're scared, that they don't want to do it, that they want to use the forensic auditor here. No, an outsider one. If I have to sell a left kidney to pay for this, I will. Because if you use the internal one, that's a forensic auditor, yeah, they're gonna hide stuff. So yeah, if I have to sell a kidney, just let me know. I mean, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. I hope you guys have an amazing night. And if I do go live again, it might be. I'm trying to see if I can go live at the same time with TikTok because I want to show you guys what I do and how I do all this stuff, like as far as like reacting to shows and stuff and giving my honest opinion and everything. So I might do that tomorrow. Don't know yet, but I might. If I have to like just tell my people, my following on YouTube, hey, follow my YouTube. We're gonna start doing lives there. Yada yada yada. So if you're not a fan person, I mean, I get it. But yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye.